had a man that wasn't present, right? He wasn't present with his family. He was running around, cheating on his wife, and never really was there for his son. And his son decided that he would not be this man that was running around with women and doing all that. He was going to be there for his son. And so he worked hard, he did his thing. And when they came into therapy, son told his dad, well, Dad, you really weren't there for me. And it blew his son's mind. It blew his dad's mind because dad was like, what do you mean I wasn't there for you? He said, you worked all the time.
Wow. Wow.
And the dad was sitting there. This was very interesting to me because the dad was sitting there oblivious to the reality that he had repeated a generational pattern of being absent, emotionally absent from his family, from his son's life. But he thought he was good because he wasn't running women, but he was running money.
Wow.
So what I'm saying is,
we talked about that on our last episode,
yeah,
the chase.
yeah.
We get so caught up in chasing the bag, I think we leave sight of what truly matters. Although the financial aspect matters, but time matters the most.
Absolutely.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. More importantly, you saw the clip. This is unrealistic fatherhood. And part of this more expressive society, there's this big gaping loophole that really you just want to complain about everything. So, like you said, one guy said his father wasn't there because he was running the streets with women. Okay, cool. Now he said, I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna work, take care of my family, and all of a sudden you not there. I'm gonna tell you what this comes off as. A lot of y'all are complaining that people are absent in your lives because you want them to be something after the fact that you didn't want them to be in the moment. And what I mean is, so being a womanizer, you're not there. Being a provider, you're not there. If you're just being there, you're there but not there because you're supposed to be a provider. So this is like a lose-lose situation. And why it's unrealistic is because a lot of y'all are viewing fatherhood through a motherhood lens. And but at the same time you overlook what you do. So let's reverse this. Your parents are supposed to raise you and take care of you. All right? They're not supposed to be your friend, they're supposed to be your parent. But when you're kids and you want to play with your friends, do you look at yourself as abandoning the family? When you're kids and you watching TV, are you abandoning the family in a relationship? Or when you're playing video games, are you abandoning the relationship? Or when you're on the phone and on social media, are you abandoning the relationship? No, y'all don't look at it like that. I was just being a kid. It's like, oh, okay. So when your parent is working, now it's a problem. You should have been there. You know you would have complained if you was homeless and the lights was off, right? Or the lights was off, right? If you didn't have any food, like, man, he was there, but for what? He didn't do nothing. So at some point, you got to take into consideration that what's happening now is it's a bunch of comfortable kids complaining as adults. Because let's be honest, the fact that y'all going to therapy, you you're well off. Just in a general sense, you just go somewhere and talk about your hurt of not feeling like you were loved enough because your dad was at work. You left me. No. Now, here's the interesting thing. You raise a kid to be a productive adult and leave. So when you leave and you take care of yourself, is that abandoning your parents now? No. A lot of y'all just don't want to be adults. And I'm going to just be honest with you. That's why to me it's unrealistic fatherhood, because what it is And I said it, about the motherhood, Liz. A lot of y'all were overly mothered, and y'all are young men and young women. Y'all really not looking for a father or complaining that your father wasn't doing enough. Y'all really looking for a husband. And your dad wasn't your husband. Your dad is not, taking care of you. He didn't take a vow to have and to hold, through sickness and health to death do you part. So now you feel like you got cheated on because your daddy didn't marry you. Just in the essence of, what he's supposed to do. Your dad's supposed to make sure you never have to work a day in your life again. Like everything is covered. You could just live your life type of stuff. You want to be a housewife. You don't want to be a child. That's what's going on now. That's why it's unrealistic. Now a generational curse is taking care of your kid because that's not what I want after the fact, though. I want you to be there for me. Be there for you in what way? Y'all do realize, like, y'all at school, right? Like when you go to, grade school, middle school, high school, your parents don't go, my child is abandoning me because of math class. They're abandoning me for the football team. They're abandoning me for basketball. My child is abandoning me, because they want to do theater. They're abandoning me. Stop it. Y'all are living in an alternate reality at this point. And it's becoming not just annoying, but it's idiotic because people are sitting there, yeah, yeah. So tell me, what is the perfect scenario? He's supposed to, all your parents, everybody's parents are supposed to work from home and drop them off lunch every day at school, and and sit in their classes with them and text them all day to see how they doing, and FaceTime them in the middle of chemistry. What are you talking about here? Because let me tell you how that actually ends up in real life. You becoming an adult who can't do nothing for yourself. That's how you see these young adults, at the dentist and at the doctor's office at 25, 26, and their parents got to fill out their paperwork because they don't know nothing. Where we live again? What's my social security number? What's insurance? Could you go on my job interview and help me? Like, there comes a point where that's part of parenting and letting your kids grow up to be adults is they got to figure some things out. You got them along the way, but you let them socialize with their friends, socialize with family, you know, socialize in the school dynamic, socialize in the world, and say, I told you this. Now you got to see how it is in practical application. You don't just sit there and sit in the house all the time. This is unrealistic now. That's why people's relationships expectations are unrealistic. People's religious relationship with God is unrealistic. People's relationship with parenting is unrealistic. And the sad part about it is this is part of that gentle parenting thing where people realize after the fact with gentle parenting, maybe us being all lovey-dovey and all over the top and coddling our children, that didn't work out. They're adults not prepared for life. Yeah, but hey, you broke the generational curse because you were there. The person that wasn't a gentle parent was there too. It's just they didn't choose to do that because in aspects as your child gets older, they need to be more independent. A lot of these people are wanting to be independent, wanting to be dependent as adults because you know they didn't want to be parented, and we don't talk about that enough. There's so many children nowadays and teenagers and young adults that didn't want to be parented and went in the opposite direction, and now they're saying, oh, I was abandoned. No, you was hard-headed. You didn't listen. You didn't want to listen. You wanted to do what you wanted to do. And now when life is the weight of life is on your shoulders, is crushing you, and now you want to go to therapy about it. But you're not telling your therapist the whole story either. And you're not telling your parents the whole story because honesty is the best policy. But if you've been lying to yourself, how can you be honest? That's why these things can't get fixed. So in my opinion, man, this is unrealistic. It's unrealistic because we're not really being truthful about how these situations actually work in real life. But tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
If you're not careful, Ocho, you'll bleed on the person that didn't even cut you. Why don't you leave?